Meditation and Hakai. Two skills that, in my opinion, desperately need buffs because they were basically just thrown into the trash can, not only by Dimps, but by the community as well after Dimps applied nerfs to both of these skills. These two skills used to be fan favorites, and now you barely ever see them anymore. In my opinion, yes, skills should be balanced, but you should never balance a skill, quote unquote, to the point where it is actually unusable, and that's what happened with these two right here. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is talking about how these skills can actually be buffed in DLC 16 when that update does come. Now this is also a little mini series that I want to start doing leading into DLC 16, guys, and the way we're going to do it is the same way that I did skill test in the past. Basically, whatever skills you guys want to see nerfed or buffed, you would comment down below. For example, Super Kamehameha, let's just say that skill needs a buff, right? Someone would put buff Super Kamehameha, and if that comment got a ton of thumbs up on it, it would be the one that I do next. So whatever comment gets the most thumbs up down below in the comment section will be the skill that I cover and talk about next in regards to needing a buff or even potentially a nerf, because obviously some skills need to be nerfed, some skills need to be buffed. So again, in today's video, we're going to be talking about meditation and Hakai. So let's jump into it. Alright, so we're going to get this started off with meditation. This is a skill, guys, that since it has been nerfed, it has been desperate to get a buff and be put back into this game, essentially, because tell me right now, do you ever see this skill online at all?
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. No. No.
And even though it was buffed in a sense when it got the nerf, that buff that they gave it really doesn't matter too much. It's not necessarily what people are looking for from this skill right here. And what I'm talking about is the boosted amount of ki that you get when you actually put or do combos to somebody, as you guys can see right here. From this combo alone, we just got back 4 or 5 bars of ki, right? So while you're in meditation, the ki sustaining for Super Saiyan Blue or Blue Evolution is very, very easy for those 23 to 24 seconds. But that is the major issue with this skill. It only lasts 23 to 24 seconds. All the ki that you're gaining when you're doing combos and things like that, it's nice, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's not necessarily what people are looking for from this skill right here. This skill has become known in Xenoverse 2, or at least it was, as the main way of stopping the ki drain in Super Saiyan Blue and helping the ki drain within Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. I mean, Blue Evolution, since this skill was nerfed, has basically become unusable in PvP. You rarely ever see that awoken skill anymore, and in terms of damage buffs, it's pretty much the best in the game. It's just, again, this skill was nerfed to the point where it's only 23 to 24 seconds long when it used to be a whole minute long. Like, I could understand if you slightly nerf it and take away like 10, 15, even 20 seconds, right? But when you take away the time and cut the time by more than half, that's when the nerf just gets a bit extreme and to the point where the skill becomes a little bit unusable for the most part. And it's why, again, you barely ever see meditation in an online setting anymore. So the buff that I would like to see come to this skill would be very simple, and you could nerf it at the same time. But buff the time back up to around 45 seconds. I think 45 seconds of meditation would be at the point where the skill is very usable again, but not to where it's like insanely long like it was when it was a minute, right? But then the nerf that you have to put to this skill at the same time is just take away the extra ki gain that you get while you're in meditation. Honestly, that extra ki gain is not necessarily needed because, again, the main use for this skill is to help sustain Super Saiyan Blue and Blue Evolution as long as possible. So that is what I would like to see changed about meditation, guys. Make it 45 seconds long so it's not as long as it used to be, and take away that buff that they added in where you get boosted ki for attacking your opponent. Because if they did that, it would still be worse than it was when it first initially dropped in the game, but it wouldn't be as long as it was at the same time. So in a sense, they still nerfed it from where they initially dropped this skill, but it's still usable and something that people will put on their builds. You never want to nerf a skill to where people do not use the skill at all anymore, and that is pretty much what happened with meditation. Now, Hakai is a bit of a different story, guys. This is a skill that I honestly cannot think of a way that they would buff it besides returning it to how it was when it first released. Like, the only thing that I could think of that they could necessarily do to this skill to where it wouldn't be as OP, or not even OP as it was before, because I never saw the skill as like OP or anything like that, but I guess to the point where it's not as easy to throw out or anything, maybe make the skill 5 bars of ki instead of 4, but do not take away the simple fact that this skill, or take away the part of this skill to where if you got hit, it went away completely. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about right now. Let me change my key back to auto recovery. But basically, the nerf that they applied to Hakai was if you threw this move out and then got hit in any way, shape, or form, the skill disappeared, as you guys are about to see. Let me change character. Let me lock on. Boom, hit him with a key shit. And you guys saw the destructive fission, or Hakai, did disappear right there. Reason being is because of the nerf that they applied to this skill, which essentially made the skill unusable unless you are trying to perform some kind of fancy combo or something along those lines. Hakai was more honestly of a PvE skill than it was a PvP skill. For PvP, it was more of a having fun type of thing where you would be playing with your homies or just playing online in general and you're trying to troll with this skill right here. And honestly, I never really had any difficult with avoiding this skill at the same time, because all you had to do was snap, vanish, spam away and you would avoid the skill without a doubt. You just had to be mindful of when it was actually out there. So again, I really never had an issue with this skill constantly tracking, because the tracking is extremely slow. If you are just mindful of it, you should be able to avoid it with a fair amount of ease, to be honest with you guys. So again, to me, I think they should return this skill to the way it was, mainly for the PvE side of things, guys, because Destructive Fission was a great PvE skill. It was a skill that people would throw out, then go into some other skills or start to charge up or things like that. Basically what Destructive Fission does, it gets you free damage while you're doing other things, which is honestly great for things like raids and things like parallel quests. So I would just truly love to see this skill return to its former glory, not only to see some people bring it back to the online play, but also so it could be a good grinding tool in offline play at the same time. So again, to me, these are the two primary skills, guys, between Meditation and Hakai that I think the community would probably want buffed the most out of all the skills that we have in the game, especially for the ones that have been nerfed in the past, and nerfed to the point where you just do not see them anymore on this game. So I definitely think Meditation for sure should be changed to where it gives you like at least 40 to 45 seconds of overall time in the actual meditation buff, but at the same time it takes away that buff where you're gaining extra ki for your combos and doing damage and all things like that. And then honestly with Hakai, guys, I don't see any way, like I said, to really change this skill back besides just the way it was in the past. Like, just make it how it was when it dropped. It was never an issue in this game. Like I said before, like I really never saw somebody complaining about Destructive Fission or Hakai in an online setting saying that the skill is OP or broken or anything like that. So I would just truly like to see this skill return to its former glory. So let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. Would you like to see a buff come to these two skills? And if they did, what kind of buff would you like both of them to get? Do you agree with the buffs that I applied for them, or said that the ones that I said would be good for them, or do you have your own idea on how they could potentially buff these skills? Let me know down below in the comments, along with what other skills, guys, you would like to see buffed at the same time, because again, buffed or nerfed, because again, this is the start of a brand new little mini series on the channel, and we're gonna run it, like I said earlier, just like the skill test. But with all that being said, man, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, hope you guys have a good one. Peace, y'all.